Hello, this is discussion assignment 11 in euthanasia. Introducing euthanasia into standard medical practices ultimately does not affect minorities and vulnerable groups. Yeah, ultimately it does raise some significant ethical and practical decisions and reasons. And here are the main three I would say for this. Autonomy and informed consent, and emotional and psychological impact within the family and from the family for the patient, and ultimately the physician's concern and overall judgment in the end to make this happen or not happen, as euthanasia is a very, very kind of huge subject because you're basically taking away someone's life for the betterment of their well-being, even though there are so many different ethical and definitely different things with that. Within personal autonomy and informed consent, it is important that the patient is actually aware and can actually make these drastic decisions within their life, and they actually have judgment to make these decisions rather than someone making it for them, or say the physician making it for them. That just kind of raises some major ethical concerns with that. And yeah, and now when looking at the emotional and physiological impacts within the family, it is pretty serious, as this can definitely impact a family's whole judgment, their whole well-being as a family. But within this, there are some people who don't have families, and it could be completely different for them in that scenario. But yet it definitely is a terrible thing. But ultimately, euthanasia needs to be practiced with very big discretion, and only in the dire chances that it actually needs to be used. And now the physician's professional, I would say on the matter is also probably one of the most important things within this, as the physician is the person that's taking care of you, and they are the ones that are going to be making this decision, or even bringing up this decision or idea, not decision, but idea. And ultimately, it's a pretty big thing with the physician's choice. But ultimately, in the end of all of this, it kind of boils down to the patient's consent, and the patient being actually in a non-vegetated state to where they can't even decide for this, and also the patient would need to be in some severe distress and to even have this be a thing. But yeah, overall, I think within minorities, I don't really see a big different factor within this, but ultimately there are so many different things out there, and people have so many different problems. But I would say ultimately euthanasia, in my personal opinion, should only be used in the most dire of stances and the most dire of needs, to where you're not going to make it the next maybe even couple days, and you're in insane amount of pain. That would make sense. But people that are having super bad depression, things like that, that's just a way to it's just I just feel like that is something that should not be used for euthanasia. But yeah, that's my take on this.